Welcome back to the second part of our walk around Historic Romsey. We're starting this part of the walk back in the marketplace. If we take this road, we come to the United Reformed Church. This was built in 1886, but it seemed much older. This used to be the entrance to the medieval abbey. Along the road we come to La Sagesse. This was established by a French order of Catholic sisters who came to Romsey in 1891. Since then, La Sagesse has been an orphanage and a school. It's now a nursing home. A miracle took place here in 1927. Sister Gerard of Calvary was on her deathbed when she made a sudden recovery after seeing a vision of the blessed Louis-Marie de Montfort, who later became a saint. The Catholic Church of St. Joseph is also here. There's also a labyrinth to walk around, perfect for those in need of some peaceful contemplation. At the end of the road we find War Memorial Park, originally dedicated to those who lost their lives during World War I. This is a beautifully maintained park. Just inside the front gate we can see a magnificent sculpture of a war horse and soldier. This commemorates the 120,000 horses and mules that were sent to war from this area during World War I. The sculpture is cast in bronze resin and was designed and cast by local sculptor Amy Goodman. It was unveiled by Princess Anne in 2015. The main war memorial stands nearby. We'll walk on around the park, past these ducks. We're coming up to an exercise area. A 10k fitness trail. I might give that a miss today. On the far side of the park we can see a field gun. This is actually a Japanese field gun and was presented to the town in 1946 by Lord Louis Mountbatten, who had accepted the surrender of the Japanese in his role as Supreme Allied Commander, South East Asia. If you've seen the first part of this walk around Romsey, you might recall that Lord Mountbatten lived on the Broadlands estate, just outside of the town. We'll leave the park now and walk down to Sadler's Mill on the River Test. The Test is renowned for trout and salmon fishing. This is the Salmon Leap, which the salmon that come back to spawn in the autumn have to navigate to swim upriver. I believe that the watercourse was changed a few years ago to help alleviate flooding, and the salmon no longer have to leap here. Sadler's Mill has now been redeveloped into private residences. We'll continue our walk up the far side of the river on the causeway. Look at this beautiful clear water. I've just noticed this heron here, standing on the bank. It's not the biggest trout that the heron's ever caught, I'm sure, but a welcome snack nonetheless. This is Middlebridge in front of us. We're coming up to the town bypass. During the English Civil War, Romsey changed hands several times, with both royalist and parliamentary troops occupying and plundering the town. Most significant were the events of 1643, when parliamentary soldiers marched from Winchester and defaced the abbey and destroyed the abbey's organ. It's thought that the action here was part of that engagement. We'll cross the bridge and continue on up Middlebridge Street. In the pavement here you can see a Romsey Heritage Trail marker. You can follow these around the town, which will take you to most of the points of interest. You can see a lovely thatched cottage here on our left. We don't see too many of those in Romsey. Up the road we arrive at the 3 Tons pub. Sadly I'm not stopping for a drink, it's a bit too early. This pub dates back to the 1700s and it's a Grade 2 listed building. A ton is a vessel for holding 216 gallons of beer. That's about 982 litres for those of you who think in metric. So a ton was a big vessel. Further along on the left hand side of the road is Bath House. This was built in the 1800s and was the home of a stonemason, A.F. Ellery, who decorated it to look as though it was made of Bath stone. He added examples of his carving skills around the windows, and they're pretty impressive carvings. On the opposite side of the road is number 48 Middlebridge Street. This was a wool warehouse for over 200 years, before being converted into a cinema in the 1920s. It's now a photographic studio and a private house. Further along we find number 21 Middlebridge Street, one of the few surviving 15th century buildings in Romsey. As was typical of its time, the upper storey projects out over the ground floor. Next door to number 21 is Oddfellows Chambers. These Oddfellows societies were set up to protect and care for their members and communities at a time when there was no welfare state or National Health Service. Although the Romsey Oddfellows Lodge no longer exists, it was once a flourishing society. As we near the end of Middlebridge Street, we arrive back at Bell Street, where our walk around Romsey began. I hope you've enjoyed that walk, and if you have, please subscribe to our channel to see more videos from the Country Traveller. Thanks for watching.